Michael Meade says, during initiation into adulthood, the elder within is born. So I just took that and ran with it. Because a lot of the stuff that we're going to say here, the maps and the diagrams, because when you have ADD, you think in diagrams, it has nothing to do with truth. It has to do with usefulness. For example, reincarnation. You know, it's not, what do you think? You think there's such a thing as reincarnation? Or what's the proof? You know, it's like, what do you get out of believing it? You can choose to believe it, apparently. I'm going to believe in that. One of the things we learned in the 60s was that you can choose to believe something for criteria other than, is it true? Right? We asked the hippie, why do you believe that? He goes, because it's beautiful, man. That's why I believe it. I believe it because it's beautiful. Apparently that's a reason to believe something. So, being elders, we can loosen up a little bit. That warrior is a nuisance to the elder. The warrior's going to go, what about this? And how can you fit that? You know, and it's like, more lover. Lover gets a little bit sloppy here and go, okay, let's go with that. Try it on for size. It's the philosophy of as if. Act as if it's true and see what happens. Act as if everybody's out to try to get me. Let's see what the world is like now. You know? I like to think that everybody has everything in them. That helps. I have a generous man in me and I have a selfish man in me. I have a kind man, I have a cruel man. Now when I realize that I've got the entire package, then I get to I don't have to hide anymore. You
That's
know?
MKP.
Yeah.
That's what we teach.
Yeah. And it's the last time we talked, I said, I like to hear the sound of my own voice. I want all you men to admire me. I want $1 million. All those things are true. But I'm doing something else too, okay? And Ram Dass put me onto that. He says, I just have all these neuroses and they're never going to go away. Just pat them on the head and go out and do my thing. You know? The guy that hates the world and wants to kill everybody, stay healthy because I may need you tomorrow. Hopefully I won't. You know? So, so when Michael Meade says something like, you know, during initiation the elder within is born, I start mulling that shit over. I turn it over to my ADD self, and stuff comes popping up. That's where I carry my little tape recorder, and I'll record it, and I'll listen to it later, and I go, "Fuck, did I say that?" So here's the diagram. I'm born. I go pass through a gate. Okay, it's my childhood. There's a hiatus, a gap, a disconnect. This is called initiation. Okay, during this period, my power cord, and you've heard me say this, my power cord is plugged into the community, or to my clan, or whatever that is, and that community in turn is plugged into the natural world. That's called indigenous. Naladoma says indigenous are people who take their instructions from the natural world, which implies a dialogue with natural world. I can go out here and talk to that tree. How are you doing? You okay? Trick is hearing the reply. There's active and passive imagination. This is where everything turns into a practice. We get to have a practice. That's why we can go out and do this shit. We have to have some structure for this practice. There's active and passive imagination. Active imagination is imagine that the tree is talking to you. That's active. Pretend that the tree is talking. But don't imagine what it's saying. That's the other type. To open up that channel and say, okay, what should I do now? And listen. The American Indian saying says, the wind speaks. If you do not believe this, ask it a question. So I asked it a question. I didn't hear anything. Does that prove that it's not speaking? Or maybe I need more practice. A little bit more practice, right? So you unplug your extension cord from your family. This is when it's not plugged in at all. The image I used to have is a frog jumping from a lily pad to a lily pad, and when he's in the air, he's not on any lily pad at all. Or the trapeze guy who goes like this and lets go and grabs the next one.
The gap.
The gap. This is the gap. This is initiation.
Big opportunity.
So in a way, the adult succeeds the child. This is a line of succession. The child is turned into an adult. That's why it's the death and rebirth archetype. The child dies and the adult is born, takes his place. That's why there's relatively little inner child work in a culture where there are intact initiations, because the inner child is transformed into the wild man. The wild man is the adult version of the inner child. So when you're all silly and crazy and creative, it seems, oh, his inner child is alive. No, that's a silly adult. It's not. I don't have to regress to childhood to be silly. I can now have the adult version of that. That's great. But apparently, it's not a line of succession from adult to elder. And this is all blossoming from Michael's simple statement. The elder within is born. So therefore, it's not like the child, you're a child for a while, and then you're an adult for a while, and then now you're an elder for a while. No. The minute I become an adult. So that means I've got 2 tracks going now. Okay? Mm-hmm. And I thought, okay, what are these 2 tracks? And I thought, one's the adult, one's the elder. The adult is the doing. You were talking about doing and being. And the elder is the being. Okay? Oh, that's interesting, see? Now, like reincarnation, don't worry how true it is. Just try it on for fucking size and live that way. The being part of me is the elder component of me. Let's check in with what does your elder part say? What does your adult part say? And of course, people that don't have initiations, they're hybrids. They're part child and part adult. That's how I talk to teenagers. I say, you're a hybrid, part kid, part emerging adult. What part am I talking to right now? Am I talking to the kid part? Good, I'll talk to the kid part. It's no sin, you're a teenager. You're supposed to be half and half. Would you want me to talk to the adult part? Come on out. So you can get the adult part of the kid to talk to you, see? And either way, it's your choice. So it's the same thing with the elder. If the adult is the doing. This is my gift, my purpose. What I came here to do. If I'm a craftsman, I'm here to work with my hands. And my mentor will be in that field. The mentor is walking the path that I'm destined to walk. I become a car mechanic the day I declare myself a car mechanic. Not after 5 years of apprenticeship. Today! What are you? I'm a car mechanic. How long have you been a car mechanic? 2 weeks. You don't know shit, do you? No. I've only been a car mechanic for 2 weeks. This runs its course. See, in a way, the elder is the post-purpose man, but he's in progress during the whole period. If you start after this peters on, I'm a guitar player and I'm feeble and I can't play guitar anymore, and I retire. I've given my gift. And all that then is left is the being part. And it's handy to know that it's been going on all along. In fact, the elder's job is, when the guy's busy doing his career, he's busy focusing on this part. Yeah, you're doing great and you're making $1 million and you're discovering a cure for cancer, but what kind of person are you? Are you generous? Are you kind? Do you talk to your kids? Are you connected with your kids? Are you happy? All these being things. That's just, and they're all mingled up, but we're separating them here, see? And we're calling this the elder component of my being. The benefit of this is you don't have to wait to get old. I'll be 50 and I'll start being an elder. No, start today. Because elder skills are life skills. And in the end, an elder is a way of being in the world. And it's the best way to be in the world. It's what's going on behind all this stuff. This engages me. My career engages me. And this is going on behind it. And in the end, this is all that counts, really. And so this is just a little way of thinking of it. Okay? The being part of me is the elder part of me. Who am I rather than what am I doing?